Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to Sonoma Raceway for the Procore 200 race number 14 of the debut season of the PCSRA Craftsman Truck Series. After today, we are down to two more races left to go, Bristol and Daytona to finish up the regular season, and then we will start the playoffs from there. So time is ticking away for drivers that have a win to try to get themselves still in the top 20, and drivers that are right on the cut line or could be eliminated after today's 17 lap event. Alex Winters on the pole position. Alex Winters comes to this race seventh in points, still looking for her first win on the year. Alongside is Anthony Ritchie in the 24, who is definitely going to be mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. He is 35th in the points. J Bodine in row number 2, he is third in the standings. And alongside is Cheyenne Berkshire, who comes into this race 22nd in points. She still has a chance to get a win to get herself into the top 20 in points to have a win count for a playoff berth. And Abigail Furling rounds out the top 5. Critical for Abigail Furling. She is 28th in the points. She is only a total of 13 points back of 20th in the standings. As you look at the rest of the starting lineup, point standings real quickly before these trucks roll off because the engines have been fired. Marcus Sellers is still the points leader by 10 points over Billy Kitchens. J Bodine third in the standings, 27 back, 32 back. Harrison Jenkins is fourth. Fifth is Xavier Allsopp. J Underhill is sixth. Alex Winters seventh. Michael Brown eighth. Victoria Hughes ninth. And Jared Johnson complete your top 10. As we're going to get these trucks rolling off for 17 laps of racing on a beautiful day here at Wine Country. And make sure nobody is having some issues on the grid. Looks like that is the case. We are in good shape as Anthony Ritchie, apparently for this track, the outside gets an advantage, but the inside will speed up a bit, so it'll be all right. And here we go, 17 laps of racing. Our final road course race of the season for trucks, and we're green here at Sonoma. We haven't been to Sonoma since race 2, which was Busch and Winston Cup, which Busch was a wreck fest, but Winston Cup was an okay race. There are going to be some full course cautions as Chas Farmer got off the line sluggish. Alex Winters leading this race. If she wins, she would be in the playoffs automatically. Let's see here. Marcus Sellers is also trying to win the regular season championship to get 15 valuable playoff points, which would come into play going into the playoffs. That will start at Chicago. And I figured out the first round for the Winston Cuppers schedule for the playoffs. It will be Chicagoland, Pocono. We go back to Pocono. And then Indianapolis will be the first elimination race, as Alex Winters will lead the first lap. And they'll be going to a debuting track the following race because we'll have, like I said, all 3 series. But, we'll have the criteria of Trucks and Busch having the first elimination race on a short track. That will be Mansfield. And then Winston Cup will have their first race of the second round. Then they'll go to Lime Rock, and then all 3 series will meet at Kansas. When Truck and Busch begin their second round, it will be the elimination race for the Cup Series. So now you know the first 6 playoff races for the channel. As you look at the back of the field, J Ard, this is not where she needs to be. Remember, she had troubles last week at Papyrus, and she's not safe either. She comes into this race 22 points ahead of 20th in the standings. Blake Wagner, who had troubles at Papyrus last week, he is actually in that critical 20th position in the points. There he is. And some drivers are kicking up some dust there. Shyla Askarov is now 13 points back at 20th in the standings. She needs a good run to get herself back in the top 20 to have her win count for a playoff berth. And so far, the truck race is going really smoothly than what I thought it was going to be. Abigail Furling running in the top 4 there. Furling 28th in the points. She's 13 points behind 20th in the standings. Or no, correction. She is 17 points. I'm sorry. Back at 20th in the standings, not 13th. I'm sorry, Abigail. I know she'll forgive me. But with her running in 4th, and she is ahead of drivers like Blake Wagner in the points, Abigail Furling's going to need a good run the next 2 weeks after today's race if she's going to have any chances of winning a championship in trucks. And of course, when we go to Indianapolis in the playoffs, we're going to be at 2 different tracks. Trucks and Busch will be at IRP, and Winston Cup will be at the big track, Indianapolis, which is the Brickyard 400. And believe it or not, we're going to have the Southern 500 as the first race of the round of, or no, the middle race of the round of 8, I realized. But I don't know where Winston Cup is going for their first race of round 3. I believe trucks are going to go to Lime Rock for their trucks are going to Lime Rock for the first race of the, or no, for the second race of the round of 8 when Cup goes to Darlington. Or no, trucks and Busch will go to Lime Rock. Cup will go to Darlington for the middle race of the round of 8 before all 3 series have their final elimination race. I don't know where, though. Which will set us up for our final 4 to compete for the championship at Homestead. Actually, no. Homestead is the final elimination race because I'm going to have Toronto on the schedule. It's kind of nerve-wracking to see a Winter sister who has not won. Believe it or not, all 3 Winter sisters have yet to find victory lane. Alex Winters, by the way, that critical 10th position in the playoff cut line, which we may end up having one driver on points point their way in. That's scary. So if you're a driver who has not been to victory lane, you're definitely going to be in a must-win situation. Shyla Askarov, I believe, could be in a must-win situation. Other winners outside the top 25 in the standings. Aaron Hornish, 34th in points, and Curtis Glover, dead last in points. They have been mathematically eliminated from playoff contention, but they have been to victory lane, so they're just going to try to finish their season as best they can. Blake Wagner, I need to see where is he running. He's running in 26. That's not good for Blakey Wakey, as they like to call him in TCC. And Olivia Jackson's running in 29th. She just got back. Let's see, she was 21 points. This is not going to keep her safe unless we get a caution. We are still under the green. J Ard's also not doing her playoff hopes any favors. And Jared Johnson's not having a good run. There's Olivia Jackson, who will be running the Lucas Oil truck. I forgot to change it for this race. I apologize. I'll change it for the next race, if I do not forget. Like Wagner in 26. This is going to put him below the playoff cut line as far as 20th in the standings is concerned. Unless we get a caution here. If we do, that would be the last thing Alex Winters needs to see. "17 laps doesn't seem like a long race, but this is a 2-mile road course. And for trucks, they will be finished with the West Coast. And we will head back to the East Coast. We'll see these drivers next time out at Bristol. That will be under the lights. And then they will be with us for the regular season finale at 8 Bowl. And that race could be a game changer of who would make the playoffs and who won. Oh boy. We're also going to be midway through the race. Anthony Ritchie running in second. Even if Anthony Ritchie goes to victory lane, it would not be enough for him to make it into the top 20 in points to have a victory count for a playoff berth. Let's not forget, for the Truck Series, we have not been to Richmond. We have not been to Martinsville. Martinsville is actually going to be in one of the playoff races for the Truck Series. Can't believe we have yet to go to Martinsville. I believe. Try to remember where I put Martinsville at. I believe Martinsville. I don't know if I have Martinsville in the playoffs, or if I even have Martinsville on the schedule. If not, it'll be on the schedule for next season. Just past the halfway point of today's race, lap 9 of 17. I know Busch and Winston Cup will have Martinsville in the regular season. The next time we'll see trucks will be our next race at Bristol. That'll be the next to last race of the regular season for all 3 series, believe it or not. Next week, Busch and Winston Cup will head the Magic Mile of Loudon, believe it or not. That should be a lot of fun, as Anthony Ritchie just overdrove the corner. That's going to allow Jamie Bodine to take that spot. This Truck Series race has been calm and collective. J Ard, I believe, is also going to be a driver who is not safe. Jesse, by the way, was a total. Let's see. Olivia was 31. Or no, check that. 21 out of 20th. 22 points was J Ard. Yikes. So Olivia Jackson could be back right by 20th in the standings. That could be terrifying. And we're going to have a lot of drivers that haven't won to be in a must-win situation. Shyla Askarov's probably going to head into Bristol in a must-win situation. Needs a good run, or it could be game over. We're down to 7 laps of racing to go. Cannot believe we're already at the playoffs for trucks. Believe it or not, we have not been to Texas yet, and that's also going to be on the schedule for Busch and Winston Cup. It will be on the schedule for the Truck Series next season. J Bodine currently in second. Abigail Furling doing her playoff hopes a lot of good. Running in the 4th position. And she is ahead of a lot of drivers in points, like Blake Wagner, she's ahead of. She's also ahead of, Maisie, Shyla. She might be in the top 20 in the points leaving today. Yay! I made almost $24 as I just got my text on my tips. Yay! I won't complain. I just got my notification on tips as I'm recording this race, by the way. So I'm happy, happy, happy. So, caution's out. And that was the last thing Alex Winters wants to see. Looks like Sam Vickers is involved in whatever this yellow is. Caution is out for the first time with only 5 laps to go. We will get back to green, though. But that big lead they had on 5th place is going to go all for naught. Oh my goodness, how the tables have turned in this race. As Alex Winters has taken the caution, we're going to be getting back to green. We're going to quickly jump back to the replay because pace laps will not take long as they just passed the pace truck for some reason. Slow down, you two. Slow down. Caution's out. Let the pace truck by. While they're doing that, let's jump back to look at the replay to find out what caused this first yellow today with Sam Vickers. Looks like Sam Vickers had a mechanical problem as we came up the hill. As he's under power right now, and then right about here is when he starts losing power. And he stops right in the middle of the racetrack, and that prompted the officials to throw the caution just like that as he comes to a stop. Held up E Keizer a bit, and that bottlenecked everybody as everybody's trying to get around the Spears Chevrolet. Almost hit Morgan. Laura almost hit Olinsky. Everybody else just took it to the dirt. And I cannot believe Donovan Carter just almost gave me a heart attack there and nearly hit the 75. But it is amazing nobody hit the 75 because that was really a close call. So caution's out for the first time today. Let's jump back to the restart here at Sonoma. We are getting ready to go back to green with 3 laps of racing to go. Oh boy, we're going to have a climactic into this one. We're told the 75 has gotten back out on track as he is now trying to get caught up to the leaders. He's over in turn number 2 or turn 3, and the field's heading to turn 7. So Alex Winters is the leader. J Bodine second, Anthony Ritchie third, Abigail Furling fourth, Cheyenne Berkshire fifth, Michael Brown, Victoria Hughes, Xavier Allsopp, Ashton Ingersoll, and Harrison Jenkins, your top 10. And the 75 has made it back up. I believe he's a lap. No, he's not a lap down. Okay. I thought he was for a second. This restart's going to get interesting. I have a feeling there's going to be some drivers that might get pinged for a restart violation because we saw that a lot in Busch and Winston Cup, so this is not going to be a surprise. And the 75 was running inside the top 10 at the time of this incident. That's a tough break for the 75. That's probably from my soda deal. Just reading my notifications from my pay card. My paycheck or whatever. Anyway, get ready to go green flag racing. I'm not going to worry about my work card because why not? Pace truck is off rather. Going to be 3 laps to go. This could get really ugly in a hurry. All 36 trucks that took the caution, and all 36 trucks rather that took the green will take this only restart of the day. Green flag with 3 laps to go. J Bodine got a better restart than Alex Winters. But J Bodine's going to realize he's going to be on the wrong side of the track, as Alex Winters will have the, quote, preferred line. And Bodine tries again, realizes he's on the wrong side of the track to pass, so Alex Winters keeps the lead. We head to turn number 7. They just came from turn 6 as we're heading through the S's. Alex Winters, who's led the most laps, trying to pull a Olivia Jackson last week from Papyrus. And remember, she came in this race in the top 10 in points. Not only it will keep her in the top 10 in the points, it might have just locked her a spot in the playoffs if she stays in the lead, barring anything happens between now and then. As we're down to 2 laps to go, if the caution does come out, this will end the race under the yellow. As we're not being a lot aggressive, believe it or not, for the truck series. And we already have the 18 and 16 on pit road for some reason. I believe we're being told a stop and go penalty is what we're being told. That's really going to hurt the 18 and the 16. Well, to be fair, for the 18 and the 16, for the 18, it really wouldn't matter because he's dead last in points anyway. So what difference does that make? Donovan Carter, on the other hand, this is going to be not a good points day for him. Pretty much sums up his season, 30th in the standings. I don't think he's going to win the championship either. So apparently we have drama at the end of the race, which I'm not surprised. As we're going to take the white flag. Hopefully nobody else comes in the pits for a penalty. As we're on the last lap of the race here at Sonoma. Alex Winters, 7th in points. Came into this race only a single point above the playoff cut line. And so far, it's looking very likely Alex Winters is going to be in the playoffs, providing She can have good results the next 2 races. Down the S's for the final time for Alex Winters. Nobody else came in the pits other than the 18 and 16. Olivia Jackson is up to 25th. I don't know if we're going to have any carnage between now and then as we're coming off of turn 10, heading to turn 11 for the final time. It's looking like a start to finish for Alex Winters. Top 10 in the points. She'll stay in the top 10, but more importantly, a career day for her. First career win in the Truck Series. Alex Winters will take the Procore 200. And now, we don't know if this is official, but has Alex Winters locked herself a spot into this season's chase for the championship? Olivia Jackson moved up to 24 and looks like it will be official. J Bodine will finish in second. He was third in points. He was ahead of Billy Kitchens, who didn't have a good finish, 25th it looks like, as standings are now official. But what kind of mumbo-jumbo are we going to have here? Bodine got second, we know that. Anthony Ritchie third, a well-needed run for a driver struggling in points and not going to make the playoffs. Cheyenne Berkshire will get a top 4 finish in fourth. Cheyenne 22nd in points, doing her chances of trying to have a good result. Abigail Furling fifth, that is big. And she finished ahead of drivers ahead of her in points who had a mediocre day. Let's see, she was a total of 17 ahead of 20th. Let's see, Blake Wagner finished 18th. That's a total of 13 spots. We'll see if this is going to put her in the top 20 or not. Michael Brown 6th, Victoria Hughes 7th, Harrison Jenkins in 8th. He's also going to gain some points on Marcus Sellers and Billy Kitchens today. 9th is Ashton Ingersoll, and 10th will be Xavier Allsopp, who is doing his playoff hopes a lot of good in that regard. Blake Wagner came home 18th, and he was the driver 20th in the points, that critical 20th in the points. Olivia Jackson 24th. Shyla Askarov 20th. We're going to see where this is going to situate those two ladies. J Ard. I'm getting a little concerned about J Ard. 32nd. I'm a little concerned about that, as far as I'm concerned. I'm looking through the rest of the finishing results. A lot of drivers didn't have a good result here today. Sam Vickers, who brought out the yellow, never recovered. Finished 30th out there. He was running in the top 15 for most of this race, which is a tough break for him. But all 36 drivers did finish the race and on the lead lap, so that's a good thing. But Alex Winters will be going to victory lane. Dominant run. I believe she might have just locked herself a spot into this season's chase for the championship. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race from here at Sonoma. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We've shown your full finish results. Your point standings are down in the description heading into our next race. That will be when Busch and Winston Cup have 2 races left to go in the regular season at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Next week for those two, they're heading to Loudon. But we still got to finish up our race weekend, though. Where's Busch and Winston Cup? They're on the East Coast at another road course track, Watkins Glen International Raceway, as they're going to go road course racing from upstate New York, and then they'll head to Loudon next week for their Battle of All. Until then, I'm Bodine signing off. Goodbye from Sonoma, as you've been watching yet another broadcast of PCSRA TV, celebrating 15 years as the best in the racing since 2017, and where champions are made since 2010. Goodbye from Infineon.